Good morning. Good morning, people. Or actually, good evening. Make sure I got everything right. How is everybody tonight? It is Wednesday, May 20th. And it is episode 35. I made it to 35. I have bookings up to, this is how crazy it is, I've got bookings up to June 1st. Is that crazy or what? Is that cray-cray? That's crazy. Guys, thank you so much, whoever is listening. I don't care if it's one person, but it looks like there's more. But, can't find my mouse. So thank you for coming on the show, watching every single night. I got a really cool guest. I've known this guy for about 3 years, maybe 2 years. I don't know how long ago. Maybe 3. He's waiting in the wings. 3. He's giving me the 3 sign. The 3 sign. So he came in our office. He found us, and he's like, "I have an idea." So I won't steal the thunder. I'll tell you about the idea, or he'll tell you about the idea later. So welcome to Wine with Dave. I bring the Dave, you bring the wine. There's my logo right there. Nice Wine with Dave logo. I'm drinking something delish. It's delish. Tell me if my mic is too loud. We're going to get right into this, aren't we? We're going to get right into this. We're going to start right away because I want to get right into the guest and a lot of other things to talk about. And you know, if you're following the show, which I'm grateful for, I'm going to send out like a survey to some of you hardcore listeners, Rick Greenwood. I'm going to send a survey out, and if you could just fill it out and give me your input. I just want to know how to make this better, and I've got a bunch of questions and all that. So be looking for that. It might be, I don't know, later this week or next week. I'll figure it out. Trying to improve. But put down where you're from. Type in where you're from. Just write it all out. Tell me where you are. Let me just share this. Hold on, let me put something here. I am live. Facebook.com. Wine with Dave. I am live. There we go. Got to post that. Sometimes you got to spread the news a little wider than you think you do on a Wednesday night. All right, we're going to start right away with a popular segment. And it's interactive, as always, and it's called Did You Know? Did you know? Did you know? Let me turn this volume down. It's probably leaking through. Did you know? I love Did You Know. They're cool. I get surprised every night I look at it. I get a list off the internet. I'm not going to tell you where I go, but there's about 700 Did You Knows. That should be good till 2025 when we get back to normal. Underground. The word underground is the only word that begins and ends with und. Did you know that? Underground. The only word. And here's the first interactive question, and type it in if you know the answer. What bird's tongue can wrap around its head twice? That's crazy when you find out. What bird's tongue can wrap its tongue around its head twice? Did you know that snakes can't blink? Did you know? Did you know snakes can't blink? Did you know that ants can't stand baby powder? Ants, all ants, carpenter ants, red ants. Sprinkle some baby powder and they're not coming around. The ball on the top of a flagpole is called a truck. Did you know? Did you know? It's called a truck. Did you know that bulletproof vests, fire escapes, windshield wipers, and laser printers were all invented by women? Bulletproof vests protect you. Fire escape protect you. Windshield wipers protect you. Laser printers drive you crazy. Go figure, invented by a woman. Makes sense. They protect us and they drive us crazy. What is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. they saw a need to drive men crazy. Let me invent a laser printer that doesn't work all the time. Sorry if there's any women out there listening. I'm just joking. This is just a funny show. Did you know there is no rice in rice paper? There's no rice in rice paper. That's crazy. And did you know that dolphins can kill sharks by ramming them with their snout? Dolphins are uber cool. Gorillas can't swim. Nope, they can't swim. So if one's chasing you, you better be near a river. They're pounding their chest, chasing you. That's frightening. Just jump in the river. They're not going to follow you. Sharks never stop moving, even when they sleep or rest. They're always moving. That's frightening. Here's the next interactive. You guys ready? Next interactive. Which dog can see better than any other dog breed? They have the best eyesight of every dog breed. Let me know. Did you know when two zebras stand side by side, they usually face each other in opposite directions to keep an eye out for predators? That's cool. I think that's pretty cool. And here's the third interactive. Most cows, most farm cows produce more milk when they do this action. What has to take place for a cow to produce more milk? They're doing something. That's interesting if you're a farmer. Snakes can't bite in rivers and swamps, otherwise they would drown. So, don't worry about it. Snake is in the river, they're not going to bite you. And giraffes can't do something. What can't they do? And if you were listening last night, you know they can't swim, but there's something else they can't do. That's the fourth interactive. Giraffes can't do something. And you know, obviously not drive or things like that, but things that you think a giraffe would do, it can't do. All right? That wraps up. Did you know? Did you know? All right. What is that guy doing on there? That's interesting. That was the millionaire bucks guy from Monopoly. Anyway, I'm going to show him in a second, so that's a little hint. All right, ready? Which bird's tongue can wrap around its head twice? Twice. Here we go. Let's see. Rick Greenwood. The bird is a woodpecker. A woodpecker. Boy, there's very few people watching tonight. This is weird. Is there something going on? Is life? Are we all back to normal again after COVID-19? Everyone's out in the streets partying. This is for you, Rick. I think you're the only one watching. There's a couple other people. Okay, so you're the only one who voted, so that's cool. It's not a woodpecker, though. I'm sorry, you said... you did say woodpecker, and it is correct. It is a woodpecker. Sorry, I was reading something else. Yes, next one. Which dog of all the breeds has the best eyesight of all of them by far? You're saying a Brittany. It's actually a greyhound. Greyhounds have the best sight of all the dogs. Most cows produce more milk when they're doing this. And it's like a contestant of one. Rick from San Diego says they relax. No, it's listen to music. That's funky. Put some music playing real loud in the barn. Some AC/DC. Yeah, they'll produce more milk. It'll be have an Australian taste to it, but they'll still produce it. And the last one, giraffes can't what? They can't walk backward. That's a really good guess. I would have guessed that. But actually, this is weird. Giraffes can't cough. Now, I wonder, we're paying scientists to study animals. Scientists had to go out there and listen and go, I wonder if they cough. And he just waited for many, many years. Nope, they don't cough. They would have coughed by now. I've been studying the same giraffe for 7 years. They don't cough. And then he leaves and he just, little cough, brings his hoof up to his mouth. They really can cough. He missed the time. So anyway, that was Did You Know? That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun on some level. Hey, you know what today is? Today is this guy. Today is National Be a Millionaire Day. National Be a Millionaire Day. It's also a day to start taking steps to turn your dreams into reality by making plans for your future. And there's a 2015 study by psychologist Gail Matthews at Dominican University, and it showed that when people write down their goals, okay, they were 33% more successful in achieving them than those who formulated outcomes only in their heads. And she actually, you can read up on her. She did this thing, Gail Andrews, Dominican University in California, I think it is. And she got like 5 groups of people. The first group, they had to just come up with a goal. Then she went to the second group, come up with a goal, but write it down. Third group, come up with a goal, but write it down. But I want you to follow through with it once a month. I think that's what it was. You had to follow up. You had to have someone that's like a mentor that kind of, asks you, hold you accountable. I think the third group. The fourth group was the same thing. Have a goal, write it down, be accountable. But I forget what it was. And the fifth one was tell a friend. You got to tell a friend. So that fifth group was like by far super successful in their goals. So to be, and I love making goals. I really do. Because I can dream all day long, but I get bored to write things down. But I started writing things down, and it's really weird when you write it down. I don't know, something about your subconscious mind is like, okay, because it's like, I read that it's a muscle. Your subconscious mind is like a muscle. It wants to go to work. And when you write something down and you say, I expect to have, 3 new clients in the construction field within the next 2 months. Somehow you end up looking for it and you find it. You find opportunities that you normally wouldn't. It's like your subconscious is doing that. It's really weird. It's kind of weird. And I even read this other thing where right brain thinkers, very creative, which is kind of who I am. And then the left brain people are good with languages and, learning new languages and numbers and figuring things out. There's gray matter in the middle. I can't remember what it's called. But when you write things down, the creative people are actually doing what the left brain people do naturally, write things all out. And the left brain people are trying to dream so they can write it down. So they're doing the right. So it's crossing. All these synapses are getting created in that gray matter. And I don't remember what that gray matter is. Really fascinating. And they say that's actually what makes you accomplish the goals, because your whole brain is working in consort with one another to try to get that goal. It's really crazy. So it's really good, and it's staggering. But Gail Matthews studied that out. 33% more successful in achieving your goals than those people who just had a goal but didn't write it down. All right, and that's why I put the this guy right here. Look at him. You like him? I could move. I can move him. I love this. Just put him on my shoulder. Put him on the microphone tonight. Yeah, there he is. Watch this. You ready? I could blow away a millionaire like no one's business. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was cool. You only get that on Wine with Dave. Kevin's laughing. He doesn't know. When he plays it back, he'll go, oh, that's what he did. That's what he did. All right, it's 9:14. It is wine o'clock. It's going to be wine o'clock for the next 46 minutes. And let's see. Let's see what we got next, right? What do we have? I know what we're doing next. We are talking about a few people that's coming up this week. Tomorrow night, my guests are professional comedians Bill Simas and Mike Murray. These guys are hilarious. I've watched both of them, and they are hilarious. They're going to talk about their joint business not smoking pot. They're talking about a joint business together that actually brings laughter to dark places in people's lives. Really interesting. Tune in. They're going to be hilarious. You'll probably pee your pants. And if you were listening last night, you'll be peeing your peat moss. You Vikings out there. Friday night's guest is magician Brad Ross, who actually traveled the world with Walt Disney. He was the magician guy on the tour, the only guy, went on tour. And now he's not a magician who blows up balloons in a backyard party for kids. He's got a stage show, Vegas, the whole thing. He does it all. And he's actually a mentor and a mastermind coach. He trains other magicians to improve their game and get out of backyards and just become millionaires, really, right? But tonight you're in for a real good treat. Kevin O'Brien, a restaurateur who saw a menacing problem with the way that martinis are served. When you see what he invented, I guarantee you're going to say, man, I should have invented that. Check it out.
What can I get you?
A dirty martini.
One dirty martini coming up. Is that dirty enough for you?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we seem to have lost our guest. I don't know what happened. Something happened. Let me call him again. That's a first. There's always a first for something. Welcome to live broadcasting. Let me call him again on Mr. Skype. He should show up in a second. Got to text him. Kevin isn't online. What? I just had him. Hold on. This is crazy. Hey, what happened? It says he's not online. During that commercial, I just lost him. He was right there. Then all of a sudden I saw a little warning and he popped up. I guess he had too many martinis. You're going to love what he did. It's pretty cool. I used to do that now, but I'm too old. No, you're never too old for goals. Never too old for goals. All right, let's see. No idea. Trying to call you. Okay. He's trying to call me. Hold on, folks. See if he picks up. I think he picked up. There he is. There he is. I lost you. No microphone.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, there you are. I hear you. Okay,
Yeah,
finally,
man.
we got you. How you doing?
Good, man. Sorry about that.
I don't know what happened. I was like, whoa, he's gone.
All of a sudden, it was a click, and I was gone.
Well, it was like the commercial was just about to end, and it was like that funky music, and
Right.
There is your invention, and then all of a sudden I look down at the Skype feed, and psh, Kevin's offline. I'm like, ah!
All of a sudden, I got so nervous, I can't do it.
I know. It's not like I got 10,000 listeners.
I was going to say, I really bring out a crowd of one, don't I?
You do. No, there's more. And there's more that come and will actually watch afterwards, so that's fine.
Cool.
We're getting more. We get some more people. How are you doing, my friend?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good. Very good. Very good. Enjoying a nice little glass of wine. What do you have tonight?
I have a Wolfer Rosé from Long Island.
Explain
Great
that.
stuff.
How did you discover them?
I discovered them when I had my restaurant in the Hamptons in Long Island,
Yep.
and Wolfer used to come in and sell me this stuff, and it was right around 203, 204, and they were just coming out with this rosé, and they've taken off big time. So I'm gonna take a sip of that.
Nice. And what's the name of it again from Long Island?
It was called Napeague Stretch
Napeague
Restaurant.
Stretch.
Yeah, it's Highway 27 all the way that goes from Amagansett to Montauk.
Mm.
And I didn't sit in the meeting during the name calling, but New Yorkers like to like 52nd and 3rd. That's the name of the spot if you're on 52nd and 3rd.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's what, that's their thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You would have had
So,
a better name, I'm sure.
well, it worked, but the problem was Napeague, N-A-P, because it was named after the Napeague Indians in that whole
Oh,
region there. So
Napeague
that's a
Indians. Okay.
little history.
There you go. So I
I like
put
your
in your
history stuff.
bio. I'm sorry, what was that?
I was listening to your stuff in the beginning about all the questionnaires about giraffes
Giraffes
in the
can't
cough.
cough. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And cows produce more milk when listening to music.
Yeah, I don't know where they get
I don't
that.
know. It shakes their glands or something, vibrates their. I don't know.
I mean, I could see during this time doing studies like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, farmers, they're busy milking. Someone had
That's
studied
true.
that.
That's
You
very
know,
true. Very
I
true.
wonder what type of music they listen to.
Classical.
Somehow, I think cows would like Southern rock. I don't know why. They'd be into the Allman Brothers, wouldn't they?
Who isn't? Oh, see,
In
never
memory
comes
of
out.
Elizabeth Reed.
Right.
Wow,
Right.
old Bessie is really cranking out some gallons here.
Look at her
Play
run.
some Dwayne. That's
Get some milk from that cow.
Get some milk. Give me a little history on before we get into the invention because I think it's fascinating, as I've told you 1,000 times.
Sure.
Your background in restaurants and all that. Just give me a little feedback here.
Okay, well, basically it all started as being a struggling actor and never having a job. So basically working in the restaurant industry for years and years and years and years. And then eventually stepping away from the restaurant business, getting into production. That's when I realized, 10 years of being in television production, that I actually missed the restaurant business. And that's rare. I mean, most people couldn't be more happy about leaving the restaurant because it's a tough business. I mean, it's a grind.
Yeah.
I went back into the restaurant business and I got into management. And then from there, I had an opportunity to be a partner in Napeague Stretch in the Hamptons in Long Island. So that's how it all kind of came about.
Oh, you're part of Napeague Stretch.
Oh, yeah, I was a partner. Yeah. Yep. And it was a guy that I knew from New York that when I was in television production, when I jumped ship from that and got involved in a few clubs out in New York and blah, 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 blah. This guy, Gunnar Myers, took me in and I kind of took it from there and ran with it.
Nice.
And then never looked back, actually. Then I opened up coffee shops on the Metro North Railroad line and all that. But boy, man, I'm still kind of a part of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for these poor people right now, what to do. And it's a struggle, man. And when you drop 35% in your business, the doors get locked.
They can take like what, a 10%, maybe a 15% drop, but that's devastating.
That's still devastating because, as you know, in our conversation, I mean, the numbers are so thin. It's like, that's what I used to explain to bartenders. They'll say, okay, so Johnny comes in, you give him 2 beers every night. Okay, so you think that's only $6, but I'm going to do the math for you at 365. At 365, this many beers of this, this, and this. Here's your number, and they get blown away by that. I'm like, oh, why? Yeah, and I said, and I know that you're not just doing that for Johnny. You're doing that for Cindy and Bill and everyone else, and then multiply that by 5, and here's the other number. So that's how I used to, work with my employees, because I was a bartender for years. And no one really knows the actual numbers and how they work, and it's a fine line. It's very fine.
Well, in the Did You Know segment last night, one of the Did You Knows was how much money, and it was the interactive one, how much money does the average bank teller lose per year? And I was shocked. It was only $250. So you have 4 bank tellers. A bank just lost $1,000. That's not a lot of money. They can certainly survive, but I wonder what a bartender loses.
Well, it's not what they lose; it's what they give away.
They give away, yeah.
It's what we lose.
What's their shrinkage? Yeah.
Well, I had a bartender, this cool dude that came in, and I opened up the place, and he walked in, and cool looking guy and all this, and he told me that he would fill my place with all his people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh man, that sounds really good. It sounds really good. He goes, I have a following. I said, I'll tell you what, I think I know why you have a following, because you're giving shit away.
Ah.
That's why people follow you. It's not because you're the greatest guy on the planet.
It's not your magnetic personality. Wow.
Yeah, well, because you have a joke every night, everyone wants to hear you. It's because you're giving stuff away. I mean, that's the old school mentality. Like, I have a following. It's one, I'll give you 2. Here's 1, and that gets carried away.
Oh, I know. So that's your restaurant life. And then now let's get into the invention, this really super cool invention.
Yeah.
I think. Talk about it. Well, talk about the beginnings of it and really what you saw. Like that phrase, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
You see a necessity, you see something that's necessarily needed, and it just birthed an invention. So tell me that, the first time the light went off.
Well, the bulb was lit at one night when all of a sudden I had to jump behind the bar. It was a busy night. I mean, the Hamptons are the Hamptons. Everyone knows what they are. You've got all kinds of celebrities in there if you're doing well and you're doing your thing. And I was never afraid of getting behind the bar, get behind the line. That's what you got to do as an owner, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, I got behind the bar and I was making some drinks, and I'm making a martini and shaking the thing, and it's a hot night. Now I'm sweating, I'm doing this kind of thing,
Yeah.
And I get the martini out, and I realize we used to skewer olives beforehand, so we wouldn't touch them, we wouldn't futz around, we wouldn't do whatever, and we'd skewer them out, but they would never be in their brine, so they'd be sitting out in the air, but we would still have it ready to go. So boom, but we didn't have any. So all of a sudden, I'm going, and you're still doing your thing, right? So I get the big jar, right? Everyone knows the big jar.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, what do I do? So what did I do? I reached in with my hand,
with your
grabbed
hands.
Hat. There's no gloves. We don't have gloves behind the bar anymore. You're gonna see them now. It's like the doctor's office. It's not.
But back then, hot and sweaty bartenders, yeah.
You kidding me? So all of a sudden, I'm reaching. I got to do it. The show's got to go on. So I'm factoring. Okay, great. Alcohol is going to kill anything that I got in my hands. Blah blah blah. It's still not hygienic. So I'm reaching. I put it in. Give the martini. Boom. And then I step away from the bar. I'm like, all right. I'm done. You guys carry on. And I realized after I made that drink, I went, holy shit. If that guy saw me, he would be mortified for what I just did. And so I'm like, so I covered it up and I maintained what I had to do to kind of keep going. But in the end, I was like, whoa, there's got to be a simpler solution to this. This can't. I mean, great, you can skewer your olives all day long, and you can do that all day long. But in my testing, if an olive sits out more than a half an hour, check it out. It's dry, it's done. It needs to sit in the brine before it goes into any drink. Otherwise, you're getting a hard martini. And I'll touch on that in a little bit in regards to going to trade shows,
Yep.
which you helped me out greatly with and all that kind of stuff. So it spawned because of frustration. And I had, in over a year, I'm talking like years of like elaborate stuff. Like I had like this little mechanism, and I drew the things where it comes up and it goes like an elevator. And like as the elevator comes up, you take the thing and you skewer it down, and and then is it electronic? No, it's manual. And then you put it in. It's like, wow, that's really cool, dude. And so let me tell you about another thing. I'm like, what are the that's not gonna work. Who's gonna do that?
Yeah.
So it constantly evolved.
Elevator going up. Elevator. Olive goes up. Gets skewered. Put it in martini.
That's right. And there's only one
You're
guy.
thinking too much.
Yeah, and that would have been my job, just sitting there with the skewer. Yeek, pink. It's like the Buena Vista in San Francisco when they make Irish coffees. Is one guy drops a cube, it goes down. One guy's at the coffee, drops down. Then the booze goes in, and there's 5 guys making one drink, but they can do that.
It's like the McDonald's of liquor.
Yeah, pickle, ketchup, bun, cheese, out the door. So and the long form of where I keep going on is that I had to constantly evolve into something where I looked at it, it's like it's got to fit into the condiment trays.
Yeah.
Because everyone uses condiment trays.
Yeah, that's that long black thing on every bar,
that sits
right?
on top of the bar. So anyway, the long and short is that I kind of came up with a kind of cool idea to say, look, I think 3 olives got to sit on top of each other. They have to be in their own brine, and it's got to fit in the condiment tray. 1, 2, 3. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So that's what I did.
Right.
And actually, a great lady who's a great inventor, Barbara Carey. I had communication with her, and she helped me out. And the evolution I found is ironic of how you talk about the subconscious mind writing things down and how things happen. That's how I met you, basically.
Really? I didn't know that.
I didn't know. Marketing's not. It's not my thing. It's not like I can do everything. Yeah. Put on that hat. Put on this hat. It doesn't work that way, right? So all of a sudden, it just came. I was like, I gotta get these great marketing guys, and I don't even Google you guys. I can't even remember. Like, I didn't get a card from somebody giving it to me. It was kind of just like you just follow, like it's like a river going down the stream. Next thing you stop and you go, hey Dave, hey, what do you? And then you communicate. Next thing you know, you're doing business together.
No, I think you said you just Googled me, or you didn't Google me. You Googled marketing in East Greenwich, Rhode Island, or something, and boom, we were dominating in that field there. I think that was it. I didn't know you wrote it down or you had the goals. There you go. You follow the river. Just go where it takes you.
And that's part of like, I think when you write your goals down, you have to, it's never like, as well as I do, the visual of how you want things to go is never exactly.
Oh, yeah.
On it. Like all of a sudden you're like, and it might not happen in 6 months. It might not happen in 2 days. It might happen in 2 years. Mm-hmm. You don't know the element of time on that. Right? Even the mental breakdown of trying to get that subconscious even work it faster. Right. I've gone through a lot of different things that are like, it's great, but I guess the element of time is when it's going to happen, and maybe that's a higher energy of the universe.
Yeah. So show us what it looks like, or where you got it, and
so basically,
and tell everybody what it is, and just describe this thing.
So basically, this is what it is. I'll show you the back. So here is.
Oh no, you're off screen. You got to be like. There you go. Yep.
Okay, so here's the front of it,
Yep.
right? Here's the side of it, and here is the bottom of it. So on the side of it, in here, 3 olives sitting on top of each other in their brine. Okay, and so what we do beforehand is that we skewer. We put the olives in here, we put the brine in here, and then we skewer it, and then we seal it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's totally hygienically, created.
Yeah.
And then when we seal it, it's hygienically sealed. And so when you get this, I mean, now's not a better time for this, to be honest with you. That when you get this, you unseal it, and all you do is you take the top of the skewer,
Yep.
you take it up, and then you place it right into martini. Wet, always. It's never dry.
No
and then
human fingers touch it.
Never. It's totally hygienic.
Hygienically sealed.
Correct. And so that's what it is. And this fits in all condiment trays. It's designed.
So you went for a patent for that. How long did that take?
And here it is.
Dude, I'll tell you, we've worked with a lot of clients, and when you called me up and said, Dave, I got the patent.
This is going right by my other black belts. This is how proud I am of that.
That is worth writing a book or black belts times 10.
That's big.
Someone who has a patent is like, that is gold. Everyone will want to buy that.
And I'm registered.
Yeah.
I'm like, my name is like, when you think of like, oh, what have I done in the world? How has I achieved anything? It's like, all right, there it is. So,
go.
I
didn't know they gave you a folder with like foil,
it's cool
foil
shit.
printing on it.
And, it's like a big thing, like blah, blah, blah.
You never showed me that. I didn't see that. Let me see the front
I
again.
didn't show you that?
No, you didn't. You told me you got the patent, but
I
that's
never
cool.
showed you. I didn't. Oh, let me back up. There it is. That's the design.
So all these olive companies in California, Israel, wherever, and they're making all these olives, shipping them to America because it's billions of dollar business.
Huge.
I mean, olives alone, but bars use olives all day long, right?
Correct. So the basic principle, and I've got some contacts with some big olive companies out in California.
Yep.
And they just referred me to another company here because shipping's very expensive. Shipping's just off the charts expensive. It's like it cuts into your margins, the cost, the olives. It's like it raises, it's like so your olive 1 cent is now 5 cents. It's like It doesn't make any sense. So within contacts and moving around, and this is kind of basically the subconscious way in writing things down, but being pliable into the fact that it's saying, okay, I'm not going to rush this. I'm not. I'm just going to just keep going with it. And the more people that come into my life with this are the ones that are beginning to help me with this project. And that was you. That was the guy that did the patent for me.
Yeah. And how much was it to engineer that unit? You were saying like $10,000?
Well, it's over time. Well, the design of it was a company out of San Francisco. I wish I remember the name. They designed the actual model for me. And so then what I did is I had to search to find companies that would actually do the mold and produce the unit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and most companies, they want big numbers. They're like, we only do 30,000 units. That's going to be. But you don't want to be writing checks for $30,000. That's crazy. You can't do it. So everything that you have to do in time, for me, was that I had to find the most inexpensive way to do this, where I'm actually pulling money out of my pocket. And sometimes it's backing off what you might think would be the right thing, giving it time, and then it irons itself out, and then all of a sudden you find something else. Mm-hmm. And it's like much like the machine that I just found to seal this. The first quote I got to seal this was $60,000, $60,000. Now they're banging them out at 10, boom, 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 10 and 10, and then it went down to 20, Then I found, then 15. Then, and I'm like, well, if you're not going to do it, and the bigger companies want to ones that are doing stuff. So, boom, and all of a sudden I found a company that's going to do it for $5,000. I'm like, sign me up. So, it's a manual thing, but guess what? That's me. I'm the manual. So,
Until you start selling, and yeah, exactly.
But then in turn, this company has a machine that can do the 5 at 30 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. And they'll credit me for the machine that I bought. So there's a constant build of relationship in regards to this whole thing.
There you go. That's cool. Yep. Yeah, because it started out as a hard unit, and Frescolive is the name of it.
Correct.
It's fresh olive in Italian, Frescolive, or Frescolive, olive, Frescolive. And then you were going to sell these units, but once you sell one, they're so hard, the hard plastic, no one would ever buy another one because you don't need to buy another one. It's going to last forever.
That's right.
And I know we had that conversation, and I thought of that right away. I'm like, he can't sell more of these because once he sells them, he just cannibalized his business,
That's right.
And then you found the elixir, is that what it's called? The elixir. You were like, ooh, I need to make them disposable. So explain that.
So how that came about is basically only trade shows. I mean, that's like you go to a trade show, obviously you're exposed.
Mm-hmm.
You expose your idea, you expose your product, and you are, you can tell. It's like, you stand up and you do whatever theater or you sing, and all of a sudden you hear, and there's about 80 people in the crowd. You're like, oh shit. So these trade shows give you everything. And so how that spawned was like, I originally, as you remember, I just went with this, with no olives.
Yeah, that was your invention, just the
unit.
It
was just the unit.
No
yes,
olives.
You can buy the unit by itself. No olive. So then, but as the trade shows went, it was like someone goes, and aha, you put olives in those things, you'll make a fortune. And he laughed. And I'm like, who's that guy? What? Well, you know who it was? Tillman Furtado. He's one of the biggest restaurateurs. He was just at the White House with Trump. And,
I didn't know that part.
I said Trump on your network. I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah. So he's the one who walked by, and I'm like, I know that motherfucker. Sorry. I know that guy. And that was him. That was Tillman. And fair enough. I was like, when you there's no way that you can get something like that either through an email or a phone conversation. So you got to expose yourself dramatically to and I was nervous as hell because this is my invention. Mm-hmm. Everyone. I thought it was gonna. But there was such great feedback, and I was like, that was my aha going.
We just lost your feed for like 10 seconds. So Tillman walked by, gave you the thing, put olives in that thing, and then that's your product with olives.
And my thing was that all of a sudden it's like, because what it's doing is it's alleviating the process of handling the olives, which I always wanted. It's like I always taught bartenders, cut limes, cut lemons, do twists, and guess what they do with the olives? Nothing. They don't do anything. They leave them. There's a tray. You know what we used to do? We see the lemons, soda water, limes, and then we put the tray out. But the olives would always just sit in that tray. And it's like, I'm like, why? And people are buying the most expensive drink.
Yeah, that's the most expensive drink, right? A martini.
$14 you're getting. And it's like, most people.
It's the dirtiest drink. Hygienically dirty, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, most people are going, olive? not twist. Olive twist, yeah. Sorry. Olives, not twist. Most people, 90%, are having olives, man. That's part of the process because the vodka is meant to go with salty things, sardines or olives and stuff. It's just a natural palate. You know, like when you're drinking wine, you know, there's certain. If you're drinking red wine, you might want dark chocolate.
Yeah, or beef,
right?
Something. Yeah, heavier. Yeah, dark.
Or beef.
Right.
You're not doing that with a Chardonnay with dark chocolate. You got to know what to pair. So that's kind of. I think I got off track a little bit, but
no, that's right on track. So then you went into olives, and now you've got some ideas for. It's not just the Frescolive isn't just the package that these bartenders still have to pour all the olives in, and they're still kind of dirty, but at least they're prepped. So they can just pull out, drop it in, pull out, drop it in. They can serve a lot of martinis. You went from that to, no, you don't have to even touch the olives. You rip the top off. They're already skewered, and you get people crowding the bar, pull it out, boom, boom, boom. You can serve 10 martinis in a heartbeat.
That's right.
They're in their little pods.
And so when you pull out the actual component that's in here, is when you pull it out, the actual the bamboo stick that we got made goes and slides and grabs onto the side of the martini glass. So then the olives are actually in the actual glass in the martini. So you're drinking it while your olives are there. When you're ready for that bite, you go like that. Bite it and then stick it back on. So, I mean, I just got some, this is off the charts, blue cheese olives. I'm like, whoa, blue cheese olives.
Well, let me show you some of the labels. Hold on with that fact. Let me just bring these up. So this is one. I'm showing the martini pitted, okay?
Sure.
So talk about that. That's the new, I'm going to cover myself. You talk about it.
So yeah, the martini pit is basically the red pepper that's actually pitted into the olive. That's the traditional olive that goes into most martinis. Now the sizes, obviously, the queen olive seems to be the grandiose thing that everyone loves because it's meaty. It's like a big piece of chunk in your martini glass. And so when you bite into it, you're actually getting something that's going to go with the vodka, kind of cleanse the palate. So the smaller ones kind of dabble around, and some places use them. Not everyone's going to even use my product. I get that. But if anyone wants to beef up their kind of martini kind of list and with olives and all that kind of stuff, this is your thing. And so it also represents the fact of massive chains that have trouble with the fact of bartenders that come and go constantly that aren't that great.
Yeah.
So alleviate those issues. But.
Yeah. So here's the second one I'm going to show. You can't see this, but it is what you're about to say, the blue cheese.
Blue cheese, yeah.
So tell me about the blue cheese. That looks delicious. So this Frescolive unit shows up at bars with the blue cheese already stuffed.
Correct. So that's one of the any bartender I know, and you can go and ask them, how do you like stuffed with blue cheese olives? They hate it.
They hate it, huh?
Hate it. There's something, and this is a weird thing. I know it, but no bartenders like to deal with olives. It's a weird thing. It's like, first of all, they don't want to, talking about stuffing your own blue cheese olives takes time. Actually, the kitchen should be doing it, but there's all.
Oh yeah. There's a battle there. Yep.
There's no way you're gonna walk in the kitchen when they've been there at 7:00 and you just walked in at 3 and asked them to stuff your olives. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So the long and the short is like the bartender's gonna do it, and they hate doing it.
So Alan Langer just got on. He goes, very cool story. So He's a cool guy. You got to meet him.
Okay.
And Roan Middle, I'm just joining. What did this guy invent? So, yeah, if you're just joining in, so Kevin was a restaurateur, bartender, Long Island, real hot. I'll catch you up to it. Real hot. He's doing martinis. He had to reach in the bin with the martinis and throw them in the glass, and it just dawned on him, because necessity is the mother of invention. He's like, wow, that is gross. And every bartender across not just America, the world, they're touching olives. There is no unit that's, the olives are in their own brine, in their own pods, where you can just grab it, pull it out, boom, slide it across and serve it next.
Exactly.
So can you show that again, Kevin, for those who just showed up late?
So here's the unit.
Yep.
That's the side, that's the bottom, and that's the top. So in all these 13 pods, okay, 3 olives sit on top of each other in their own brine, already skewered, and we hygienically seal it like that.
Yep.
And then when you order it, you get it with blue cheese olive.
Oh, you just froze up. Your screen just froze up a little bit.
You unseal it, and this fits into all condiment trays, every single one of them.
Yeah, the typical
So when
bartender. So actually, Roan, he's in the restaurant world. He's asking this question: what distributor sells these?
Well, I'm the distributor.
Yeah,
you can get it through me.
So it's
Yeah.
so
basically,
Frescolive. And
so basically,
yeah, it started out as a unit that he would sell, but it was hard plastic, so he couldn't sell anymore. So he made them disposable with olives in it. That was the light went off, and so now that unit is like disposable. You order a case of those things. You can serve martinis faster. They're fresher, and they're friendlier.
That's right.
People aren't looking at you. And you know what? Since I met you, I grabbed a dirty martini. Or didn't grab it. I ordered a dirty martini at a bar once at a restaurant, and you told me, you said, watch the bartender when you order one. And I would have never done that. And so I ordered one, and she goes, okay, I'll be back in a minute. So I told my wife, I says, hold on. I left her at the booth, and I went to the bar and looked at the TV as if I'm watching the game, but I was watching her because of what you said. And she turns her back to me, and it's exactly what you said. She turns her back, and she reaches in the big olive tray with her hand. Now, all night long, she's probably like this and scratching and rubbing her hair. It's the most expensive drink, and it's the most dirtiest drink. So now...
we don't want it to be really a dirty martini. So, but you can get the unit on barproducts.com. They sell it. Just the unit itself.
Just the unit itself. So when are we going to be ready to see this in market?
This in market with the olives and everything?
Yeah.
In the state of Rhode Island only is the first thing I'm going to do. Is that will be ready in July. Everything got pushed back. We're in production, doing this, blah 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 blah. It will be ready in July, and so I'm personally going to go around and marketing these just in Rhode Island for now. I normally go to the NRA show, which got pushed off.
That's the National Restaurant Association, not the National Rifle.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Just to make sure that I'm not showing up going, put them up.
Yeah. Hey, Charleston Heston can put down some martinis, believe me.
Right. He was the godfather for them for a long time, right?
Yeah. So you went to the NRA, the National Restaurant Association, and got all this inspiration from all these people and from the man himself, Tillman. And he said, if you put olives in that and ship it that way, you're golden.
And, obviously that was a year ago. And obviously, part of the process of just kind of staying my course and not getting frustrated, because obviously I wanted to be in production 1 year ago. But guess what? I'm like, The problem is that I'm running off. I've got two other businesses that I don't want to bleed into. That it's like I've got to be able to economically do this out of the gate,
Mm-hmm.
make it work. And that's within communication and constant communication that I begin to obviously start a business on a very small level.
Mm-hmm.
And people appreciate that. This olive company too is like, they love my product. So it's like, all right, let's figure out how we're going to do this. I'm like, all right, let's do that.
I'll tell you, the coolest thing is that you got a patent on it. So anyone who wants to put olives in a safe environment, especially now, and this came out before COVID-19, you got the patent. I'm a huge fan.
That's
I'm a
right.
huge fan of, Mr. Wonderful and Damon Banks. Damon Johns, and all those guys in Shark Tank. And
Yeah.
and they always, when someone mentions, oh, we have a patent on that, that's like, first of all, patent pending's like, ooh, okay, you got my ear. But it's not patent pending. You've got a patent. No one can take that from you.
Nobody.
A huge olive. Who's the biggest olive company?
Well, it used to be Bell Carter, and now they're across. They're doing more importing, and the other one is. Let me think of it as continue.
No, that's fine. But there's big ones that sell to all the restaurants, right?
Yeah, these are the guys.
Through Cisco and all that. So they're gonna be looking at you.
There's only two manufacturing companies in the state of California that can ripen the olive, and then there's all kinds of farms in the state of California that can actually grow olives, and that's regulated. You just can't open up a farm and go, hey, I got an olive tree.
Yeah.
No, it's regulated. So
That's
because I'll think of it.
That's fine.
The company.
Well, listen, we're wrapping up here. I wanted to go late
Okay.
with you because I want to really promote this thing. It's really cool, and I'm proud of you. I've seen it from the birth, from when it was Olive Nest to Frescolive,
Right.
to not just a unit, but it's a unit that actually is replaceable and it's filled with olives, and now it's jalapeno, it's blue cheese stuffed. It's great for bartenders. It's going to make their job easier. You can actually freeze the pods, right? And you could
Yes.
pull them out as frozen popsicles and drop them in a martini.
Right.
I mean, the sky's the limit with this stuff. I think you came on to something really cool.
One of my biggest things is I just want people to use it because it's like, and especially now, I mean, it's like, you can't imagine. I'm in people all over the industry, and it's like, I got this guy, Art Sutley, he's calling from barbproducts.com and his magazine, Bar Biz. He's like, now's your time. I'm like, okay, this is great. I mean, because you don't want to see anyone with their hands touching anything in your drink.
Yep.
Or fruit.
Especially now.
Nothing.
Right.
For a while. For a while. Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you so
Okay.
much for coming on the show, Kevin.
Thank you.
You're the man. Hey, anybody out there, just Kevin Buchholz. Why did I do? That's not his name. Oh my gosh. What did I do? Hold on a second.
Kevin Buchholz. I like that. That should be my stage name, Kevin Buchholz.
No, it's Kevin O'Brien. Oh my gosh, all this time I had your name wrong. All right, I just switched it. It's not Kevin
Maybe that's
Buchholz.
why no one showed up.
He's an Irishman. He's not German. Kevin Buchholz. But I did get the website address. So Roan, if you're out there still, my Frescolive, which is fresh olives. Great guy. You want to talk to Kevin? Connect with him. Go on there, contact him. Really,
You put my down. You can put my telephone number down there too if anyone
I don't have
wants to
time
see
to.
it.
I got 1 minute left, and I still have 2 more segments to go, so I gotta go.
Okay.
Hey,
All right, man.
cheers.
Salute.
Shalut. Little wine click. Take
Thank
care,
you.
my friend.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, bye-bye. Kevin O'Brien. That was embarrassing. I had the wrong name up the whole time. I had Kevin, but I left the last name of last night's guest. Welcome to the wide world of live. All right, Dave plays with apps. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to do this really quick. All right, in honor of Kevin, I'm going to use Pixaloop. Okay, and I got like we can go late. Hey, we don't have to deal with commercials. Let me wait for this thing to start up. That was last night's thing. Let's see, open up new project. And I downloaded this photo of a bunch of olives, okay? Because that's what it is, Frescolive, right? Kevin's a great guy, and he's like everybody's friend. I mean, if you want to just call him, I wish I had time to put his number. Just go to Frescolive. You'll connect with him. They also have a Facebook page. Ask him questions if you're into that. I know, Rick, you might be listening. You're an engineer out in California. This is like engineered like primo. It's awesome. So anyway, I bring this photo in, and you can't see this part, but can I shrink that? Can I do this? Yeah, I can do that. So I shrunk it, okay? So now you see that. At the bottom, I only have time to show you one element of this app. It's 3D motion. Keep in mind, this is a static photo. This is not animated at all. I don't know how this app finds out the depth of things. It's really, really cool. But look at this. So if I click on this and hit play, people are saying great show. Look at that. Look at that. Does that look real? It turns your photo 3D. It moves it around. It finds out what is blurry. So it's got AI, artificial intelligence. It knows whatever's blurry must be in the background. So move that slower than whatever's sharp. So I don't know if you understand that, but the sharper images are in the top layer and move. The slightly blurrier images move slowly. I'm sure people don't understand that, but it doesn't matter. Grab that app. Grab that app. I talked about that last night. I'll grab that app. Isn't that cool? Now I can click on other ones. Here's another one. It just moves slowly in, slowly out. Here's one that does that. It rocks. So you can take a picture. If you take a picture in portrait mode, if you have an iPhone, it automatically blurs the background. It works perfectly in this app. So look at that. Shakes up and down, left and right, up and down. It's really cool. Just wanted to show some olives. My wife and I are addicted. We are like, it's like drugs to us. We love olives. So get Pixaloop. Pixaloop is great. They're not paying me to promote them, and they really should because I talk about them a lot. Pixaloop's great. And move on to the last segment there. But when I see olives, my wife and I are like, do you want to get olives? Oh, yeah. We get olives, blue cheese, get the knife, chop it off, get chunks of olives and crackers and blue cheese, and we just sit down with Netflix at night, and we just like, oh, man, it's a great night. 10:03, I got to get you kids to bed. I got to get you little restaurateurs to bed. And I want to thank Kevin for coming on the show. I always end with a joke, and I have one tonight. I don't know if it's good. You tell me. Tell me if it's good. So this woman, she's really stressed out. She's coming into the psychiatrist office, and she waits in the waiting room, and she keeps yelling out two words over and over again. Teepee and wigwam. Teepee, wigwam, teepee. She's like, teepee, wigwam, 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 teepee, teepee, wigwam. The office manager is like, woman, can you please calm down? The doctor will be with you in a minute. Wigwam, teepee, teepee, wigwam, wigwam, teepee. And she has to come out around the thing. Can you please keep it down? The doctor's going to see you in a minute. And she's just freaking out. Wigwam, 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 teepee, 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 wigwam. So, hold on. She calls the doctor. The doctor's like, all right, come on in right now. She walks into his private room. She sits on the couch of the psychiatrist's room. Wigwam, wigwam, teepee. He goes, lady, please calm down. Clearly, you're too tense. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin O'Brien, for coming on the show. He's in the wings. He can hear me. Contact him. You know any restaurants anywhere. I know this show is broadcast to California, all the way to New Jersey. Know anybody? Contact Kevin. He's trying to get into restaurants, to restaurant chains. This product is just going to blow up, and you can be part of it. You can say, man, I introduced Kevin's Frescolive product to a restaurant, and they're blowing up. I was there. How would you like to be retired, sitting back going, I brought that product into that restaurant. It's cool. You can be that guy. Write down your goals. It's a national Be a Millionaire Day. That's what it is. Wigwam, teepee, wigwam. See you tomorrow night. I got 2 professional comedians.